Hello, it is Monday, October 2nd, and this is Rink Building Initiative. A few updates to share, rink building related and otherwise. First of all, my opening day at the new rink up at Waymer. Awesome boards, fence, hill to watch the games. A lot of fun. People sticking around. Close games. I think every game finished within a goal yesterday. 1 goal games or ties, I think we saw. All 9 games, B League and A League. Pretty cool. Shout out to all the people who are making that possible with the slight upgrades and tweaks. Rich Wall installing that PVC over there for a scorekeeper. That's cool. Rachel, who's been a big help, getting the hang of the scorekeeping duties. Bobby for thankfully living right across the street and bouncing over there and switching up the doors and installing more and more things, and having a vendor ship stuff to his address so that he can take the delivery and go over and install it for the pieces that they forgot. All thank you. I'm forgetting people. I'm sure other referees, have had to have volunteer referees from the teams step up to help. Alan, thank you, Alan. But Steckler, Bateman, Bobby, a whole bunch. There's been a bunch of different referees, P-Mart. So thank you guys. Yeah, maybe roller someday on that rink. We'll see. We've got some roller stuff coming up here. Possibly our first roller youth clinic. Working on that. May have an announcement this week about that. Refed my first adult roller games last Thursday. Super cool setting. Games start at 6:45 and 7:45, and of course it's at night, so the sun's kind of setting and the lights are on, and people are playing hockey. I mean, it's a beautiful scene. I loved it. I try to make it out to more of those, and that's going well. The skill level is pretty interesting to watch. So some good competition out there. There's a lot of guys who can play. That surface is so tough, so thank you for sticking with that and dealing with that. It's hockey, right? So it's all good, but we're working on that. No real update with the tile conversation. We actually have a meeting with Andrew Marinich this week at Morrison YMCA, and we'll ask him about that. As we know, these things take time. The last step that he shared with us was he's going to share it with his boss to get it approved, and then they're going to present it to the board, and who knows what sort of process they have. But as soon as I get that information, I will share that. So yeah, shout out to the roller group, doing awesome stuff. Haley Gordy just crushing it, staying organized with scheduling things, having to hop in wherever. I can certainly relate to that, and I would love to support more, and I'll be out there when I can. Speaking of which, the youth in Valentine we had a weird weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, with the weather looked fine overnight. Even when you woke up in the morning, the radar was fine, and then just the chance of rain. And then we have the little kids show up, some driving from Huntersville, and it starts to rain. They start slipping everywhere. So decided to cancel the rest of the games that day. And we know people were maybe on their way or weren't sure or showed up, and we tried to stick around and engage somehow. So hopefully people had enough fun, but just an unfortunate situation. So I apologize about that. And that's how it works sometimes with the weather. I would hate to call it off and then it doesn't rain, and then we miss a clean day like that. So anyways, and then we were off this past weekend for our charity softball event. So some people were asking, we got a date in the calendar and it's nice weather. What are we doing here? Well, I'll show you a picture here. The Matthews Charity Softball Tournament for the Matthews Help Center. And here's the picture of the champions. We had everybody that you see in the screen here, plus Chris Cookingham. Who am I missing? Anybody else leave early? I know that so Rachel showed up and made a whole bunch of signs and brought snacks, and Sarah was there, and then I saw Wick out there and Haley and a whole bunch of the roller guys, Brandon Benenato, Chris Nappy that was there. We almost got him in the lineup at one point. Shout out to, let's see here, Jake Cuomo, just running down fly balls like a deer out there in left field. Actually came up lame in one of the last games in the championship game. So hopefully his hamstring is okay. He ended up missing hockey because of it, but he was probably the defensive MVP. Made such a difference, just locking up every fly ball out there is amazing. But everybody you see here played a role. We'll go. Let's shout them out by name. So in the front row, there's Frank Lozzi, there's Mike LaFon, there's me, there's Danny McMahon, P Mart, getting into it as P Mart does. Then there's Charlie on the upper left, so he is the sole roller member on the softball team here. Brandon Brownlow, Chris Ward, Nick Petrini, Tom Ward, Eric Levine, Tim Hickey, and Jake Cuomo. And I will share that we got beat 13-3 in the first game, and it was double elimination. It's like, oh man, we got to play again right away. This is before the roller people were going to come over. We're going to have to tell them not even to show up. But we rallied the troops. We got the bats going. We found a good defensive lineup that worked. And then by the end of it, we ended up winning 4 games in a row. So played 5 hours of softball on Saturday. It was really hot out, and guys were pulling up lame. I think we had like 3 or 4 injuries. Not pretty, but worth it. Did you see that trophy? We can throw that up one more time. Pretty awesome stuff. And I was looking forward to making fun of my teammates and seeing who didn't have hand-eye coordination. But everybody stroked. Everybody hit the ball well. Good defensive plays, and a few injuries. So, anyways, that was fun. So that was our Saturday. Why was that a good thing? Because we made connections with more Parks and Rec people at Matthews. We met a bunch of people in the community. The softball teams consisted of the Matthews Police Department as one team, the Matthews Fire and EMS team, and then just another like community softball team, who we ended up beating in the finals after losing to them. But yeah, so shout out to Brandon McWhirter, Sergeant McWhirter, Rob Kinnenberg, who's the director of Fire and EMS, excuse me, and all the other people that we look forward to getting to know. So Matthews seems to be as receptive as any community to welcome us, and they have the same goals that we do. They want to build community, and that's what we're using our program for. So that's why it aligns. We had it over over to the Carolina Beer Temple after, which is going to become a sponsor of ours. They're already a partner. They're going to help us run clinics and raise awareness for the Matthews area and help us build hockey there. And which leads to perhaps an announcement for the end of October. That last Saturday, I think it's the 28th, we're going to do a trunk or treat with the kids. Everybody's welcome to come out and hang out and play some hockey and get some candy. I mean, can't beat that. So we'll announce that location. It'll either be in Matthews by their festivities there, or we'll do some sort of combo at the Waymer Rink, because that's where we are that weekend for youth hockey. And then go over to Matthews is doing an event either way. They just want us to become a vendor. And we're already having discussions about doing something for this weekend anyway. So we'll be sharing more of that info. Please come out, please support. What else here? A couple more updates. There's actually quite a bit today. So this is number, we'll call it 4 of 8 coming up here. So the NBHL National Ball Hockey League has concluded, and not even a week goes by and discussions start for next season. What are we going to do? How are we going to run Carolina division? All I can say is that there's a lot of moving pieces right now. Salary cap related, location related, tier related, leadership related. What I'm doing is creating a commission or somewhat of a board. I kind of like commission better because it's not really a board. There's no executive positions, but just a group of people, a brain trust to help make these decisions for us. And I want different voices represented, and we'll just get together to talk about what's best here. So that people felt a certain type of way about last season, how it went. Of course, the Squall winning their championships, and now Charlotte has a championship and the Squall have a championship, both from the Carolina division. So word is things might have to change. Does that mean going up to tier 2? Does that mean splitting up talent and making it a huge tier 3 division? Could we get to 8 teams if we do that? Then we get to send 2 to Milet Cup. If we have a tier 2 and a tier 3 here, then we could send 2 to Milet Cup. Does it matter who we send to Milet Cup? Should we just make the season as fun as possible here and run our own type of thing? So all those questions will be discussed and talked about by key level people who I value their opinion, and we'll see what happens with that. So there's not too much else to share about that. I will see Anthony San Rocco, who's the NBHL commissioner, up in Buffalo next week. I'm headed up there for the Chicklets Cup. Looking forward to that. There's a couple guys going up there to that. Yeah, so that's the NBHL update. So more to come. We will be making announcements later in October. It's going to happen pretty quickly because rosters have to be in by like December, end of December, first of the year. And we have a lot of people to consider and a lot of decisions to make. So it's going to move pretty fast. Expect an update within, I'd say, 2 weeks at the most about dates, whenever we're getting together, meetings, stuff like that. AWC is now 60 days away. Let's say the second, we're officially 60 days, 2 full months away from December 2nd is the first Saturday. Keeping that tradition alive for, I think this is our 12th annual AWC. Lou Harberton drawing something up for us graphics wise for the t-shirt and the promo. So always excited to see what he comes up with. So we'll make some announcements about that. We have some plans for that. You might see some people coming from out of town to play in that. Part of the benefit of the connections I've been making playing in tournaments and getting around and connecting with people is people want to play in other places. And if you have something unique, they want to come and try it. So people want to check out our new rink. They've been seeing us share on social media and want to see what Charlotte's up to. So possibly some people that we played on NBHL teams with this past weekend, me, Pinto, and Forbes. And then maybe just some other tournament friends that we're getting to know around the circuit here. So announcements will be made about the format of that. We may do something differently, add more teams, maybe 8 teams. Could we use the tennis court and the new rink? We're not sure yet. So decisions to be made. Stay tuned. Possibly a canned food drive or some sort of charity raise for the holiday season coming up. Stay tuned about that. October, I like October because it's one of the few months of our season where it's just straight hockey. There's no holidays that we're off for. There's no end of season or beginning of season. It's a single month where every Sunday we're just playing hockey. You get into a rhythm and teams find their identities here in Fall League, and I'm pumped about that. I mentioned the YMCA update. I think that might be it, actually. The fact that we meet with the YMCA this week, we'll share more once any information is available. And I think that might be it. AWC. Yeah. So my lead story is playing on the new rink. Just super cool. I love it. Shout out Chris Ward capturing the stuff with the GoPros, got the ladder up, and just the whole team feel CSHL is in a good spot right now. Can tone down the language and some of the referee chatter, but that's always a work in progress. So anyways, we will see you in a couple weeks.